Yeah.
What's up?
Did I go to the gravel cycling Hall of Fame at 11 a.m. on Wednesday?
What is it like a physical
I
space?
guess
Like,
it's a ceremony. I don't know. Are they gonna when these people after uh they've lived their long lives and they've passed on, are they like entombed in some space off that main street in Emporia? I don't know.
yeah, can't you like turn your remains into some sort of like synthetic diamond and they'll just crush that into granite or gravel and spread you in
Gravel
Emporia?
into gravel. I don't know, but someone should start that business.
I feel
Man,
like it would be
how
the
many shakeout rides can you have?
it'd be like the perfect Father's Day gift for a gravel dad. Like, dad, you're guaranteed to be gravel in Emporia, Kansas when you die.
You can be like, you'll never know. Lachlan Morton might be spread on this same stretch of Little Egypt as you.
Tons of people will just be discarding their goo and never second wrappers all over you for the rest of time.
Man. Wow, these people are really these community members, the non-gravel riding community members, landowners, are very generous to have us continue to ride year after year with everyone's bodily fluids and goo wrappers and Rice Krispie wrappers for the normies out there.
I think we need to talk about what everyone in gravel is talking about in terms of, I think pro gravel, we got to talk pro gravel and we have to hear your Unbound situation. So I'll start with the big news and all the gravel heads out there, all the insiders who listen to this pod. I know everyone's talking. Lauren Stevens lost a sprint to Kristen Faulkner at the U.S. National Road Race. That's what everyone cares about, right?
I mean, I saw a YouTube short of it, or maybe it was an Instagram reel. I don't know. Is this thing broadcast? Was it broadcast? Probably, right?
It's
On Flow Bikes?
it's on Flow Bikes and nobody watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have maybe watched it if I wasn't out buying like oatmeal and uh, you know, brownie bites and chips. Um, yeah, I don't know. I need to go back and maybe I'll fall asleep to that tonight.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like Levi's Grand Fondo. It killed the thing where it was like we need the gravel people to do road because it's like they already did the road this year, and it's like yeah, I guess
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
all pretty good. Who cares? Like yeah, sure.
Yeah. Aren't the actual best American road cyclists just out there like pulling for Europeans at European road races? Like who was in the men's?
Quinn Simmons, he won by like 2 minutes and 50 seconds, but I think it's all because he needs like a Lidl Trek like Tour de France spot. So like he has. I guess their team's like stacked now or something, right? Like
Yeah, they've been killing it at the Giro.
so yeah, he probably won't go, but at least his his brother was there too and got ninth, the greatest Jumbo Visma gravel rider of all time, Colby Simmons.
He should go to Emporia and do the 50 and win by like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, they EF's whole meme of Unbound is that they're doing the longest and the shortest to like raise awareness for something.
R- Raise awareness for gravel. Um, I felt like I heard more about gravel locos than I did about road nats, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, I feel like I just
And gravel locos was not televised. There was just whoever does their Instagram just reposts every single thing that they're tagged in. And like, I mean, maybe I was insane enough to sit and like, I don't know if that would classify as doom scrolling. I was FOMOing a bit because if I had done the 100 at Gravel Locos, like there's a good chance I would have been in the top 10, and I could have said I was in the top 10 with pause women, but alas, I didn't go.
Yeah, I feel
I was here
it's funny because
watching my bibs.
the narrative of Gravel Locos is like, oh, it's a down year for gravel. Oh, holy shit! There's some thunder. This is great. But yeah, the narrative with Gravel Locos is that no one was going this year, but it turns out that some people went and it was hot, right? Like,
It was so hot, which it always is. I've been every year. We only live like a 3.5 hour drive from there, which like in in Texas terms, that's like nothing. Yeah, I've been every year. This is the first year I didn't go, but it was definitely a smaller field, but like a bunch of pause people went, and a lot of regional hitters went, especially the ones that aren't going to Unbound. Um, yeah, it was really hot. A lot of people just completely like literally burned out, I think. But that's to be expected. I mean, I'm like from here and it still is hot. And I do feel validated because a lot of people, some of the Europeans and people that just don't live in hot places in the US, some of the pros that were there, I saw multiple times being posted. They were like uh a sauna and painter suits can't compare to the Texas heat. And I was like, I told you that. I told you. I mean, like, what can they do, right? But it's like, I told you that, like, there is something about the sun here that it just, combined with the humidity, it just, like, dings your skin and it, like, gets literally under your skin. Like, yeah, you can, but,
Gravel Locos,
I can't say shit. I wasn't there.
Gravel Locos obviously should just always be 2 weeks before Unbound, kind of like as some sort of ceremonial thing. But also, they should just use money they don't have to launch a live stream, just to like put themselves in the discussion, even if it's like a horrible idea, just for our own entertainment.
Yeah, so it typically is 2 weeks. I think it's always been except for this year, and I think this year's like the fifth year or sixth year. No, I would be the fifth, I guess. Or fourth. I don't know. Anyway, it I think it always is 2 weeks before Unbound, so that's why a bunch of them would come because it was, a training ride basically,
And a great
and it was
hub
super hot.
at DFW Airport, an international hub.
That too. That too. Um, Lots of car rental options. You will be able to fit your bike. It is funny how like I've seen on people's Instagrams, they're like had to get a pickup truck when it's like in my mind that's like the first like the obvious thing, especially with all these big bags and box, but that's just like there's like a reluctance to get a pickup truck, which is just funny. Um, but yeah, Gravel Locos, maybe Fabian, the organizer, who like is really passionate and like has put this on and is a cool guy and seemingly like from what I've understood, like all out of his own pocket. And I mean, they're sponsors obviously, but he pays to have all these Dutch guys flown in or however that works. But like maybe we don't need like all these random Dutch dudes that were like domestiques in 2004 or something and like can have a live stream instead. I don't know. It's not my money. I can't say anything, but
I just encourage any race organizer to push their chips all in for only for like
live
us,
streams.
only for the 16 gravel fans to have something to do one weekend. That's what matters to me.
Yeah, it's really funny. My mom's been telling everyone about the Unbound live stream as if I'm gonna be in it. Yeah, hopefully you see me out there and like I said, if I'm still out there when they're riding, hopefully I don't like ruin Matt Beers' race or something, you know.
If
Um
if you do happen to be on the stream, you're just gonna like immediately regress to being a normie and just it's gonna be you saying like, "Go Keegan, let's go Keegan," because somehow that's all
Dude,
all anybody can say when they're on
that's
a
all.
live stream.
Yeah. I'm sure we heard some. No, I think there was a YouTube video. Was it or the Gravel Dad pack? Back of the Gravel pack? That guy? He's really popular with the Gravel Dads. My dad's watched his Unbound 100 video multiple times to research for my own research on my behalf. But I think he's one of the ones that he's like, "Go Lockie!" From last year. He shouts that out.
It's gonna be a great live stream with Payson on the call.
Dude, we got a comment on our on Instagram. Someone DM'd me and they were like, I mean, I'm not gonna read the whole thing if I can even find it. Um, it's been popping off today. I can't get enough of these. Ha 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 ha. The first one I listened to, I legit thought you guys were pro and were all serious and shit. But soon to realize you guys just take the piss. I would actually love to hear you guys commentate the replay of the Inbound live stream. I would totally get amongst that. Kind of actually reads like AI.
I
We
don't
have
know.
AI fans.
I'm not from Europe, so I don't know what taking the piss means.
Well, it's funny because you're quite good at it. Um, yeah, we don't really it's a shame that we don't really have a direct translation for taking the piss in America. As like someone that has spent a lot of time in the UK, like I wish I could say it here without sounding like a weirdo. But yeah, just the odd tease here and there, you know. But
There's
yeah, I like how he said we can commentate the replay. So it's like when they have when there's like a president gives a State of the Union and then the opposition party like has their bit afterwards on CNN or Fox News to do a whole rebuttal and they like analyze it and like replay it and talk over it and stuff. So it's like we won't actually commentate it. We'll just commentate the replay. So we'll just go back and do our. It's like, yeah, we could do that. Imagine how insane that would be. Imagine if we just had our own stream where we just like what like Twitch streamers do when they put like the live stream of like sports and then just commentate over that. We would just steal their live stream and have our own commentary. I mean,
it's
maybe next year
it's young enough that they probably don't have the team to instantly send a
to
cease and
to
desist.
take it
So
down.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Um yeah, if we don't go next year, maybe next year I'll ride like the 50 with my parents or something.
Oh yeah,
We'll
just
see. We'll
like
see if they're into it. They're going to be my support crew this weekend, so.
yeah, we talk lifetime into like the way to make this all work is to launch 8 different altcasts. Um, one one can be from Dylan Johnson's hospital bed. One can be from your house, and then like I don't know who's a former gravel person. You know, we need to hear from. I mean, some names come to mind, but I don't want to say them.
Names don't. I can't say. I know whose name you're thinking of. Persona non grata.
Yeah, I don't know, just and maybe like have some world tour people just like talking shit about it the whole time. Like that might be a good alt cast. Like
They'll just be like Wout Van Aert if he's injured or something. Just like they somehow pay him like $10,000 to chime in for like 20 minutes. And then he's just like, they ride mountain bike tires? Why? That's a road.
yeah, they should also just like get the Lance Armstrong universe on board, um, and just like who knows. Anyways, live stream. It's going to be exciting.
We can't stop talking about the live stream, and for good reason. We're just big live stream heads. I mean, like, Road Nats, you know, I guess we'll put that aside for a second because I didn't watch any of
I
that.
mean,
But
yeah, I
look,
read.
Unbound prep took precedence today. Okay, like the loading of the truck took precedence, and there's a thunderstorm going on right outside where we live. But we got the tarp on and the net over the tarp, so we're all good. Yeah, good to go. Leaving at like we at no later than 8, which means we'll leave around like 10 in the morning tomorrow. No, I don't know. Hopefully early. Uh, get to the Airbnb. I don't. We're not staying in Emporia. A little bit outside at like a cabin at a campground, but it's all good. Like you have to graduate into being like in having a brand house in Emporia. So we'll get there eventually. We'll have the Holy Spirit of Gravel House there in like a couple years.
Yeah, I was reading the New York Times article on Unbound, and it said that over 63% of residences in Emporia, Kansas are actually activation spaces.
Yeah, I'm preparing for my activation earlier tonight. Got some crackers, some oat milk. Uh, I'll find some beer somewhere. I have a
Yeah,
Bluetooth speaker.
I mean, I'm not sure that you should meet your
I just
fans.
I just want to look at your bikes. All my fans are pros. What are you talking about? Those are the only people that get what I'm saying. Just kidding. Just kidding. All my fans are pros that wish they were normies. The pro fans. Oh, I tried clicking on a Velo news article right now, but I have the paywall. Let's see. It's gonna see the elite start list. Sorry, Alvin. I had to use my other browser to open this to get out of the paywall. I had to use my cookieless browser. Sorry, Alvin. I'll get you a beer.
It's crazy to think that like a media outlet can be built upon people reading 3 stories a month. It's just crazy to me. The whole bike reg part of their business must be huge.
I think I did at one point sign up for the like a year's worth of outside for like an extra $7. Remember when that was part of like the bike reg?
Yeah, just like a
Actually, grassroots gravel is what's keeping cycling media alive just through the bike reg ownership.
I mean, it's a pretty good theory, I'd say. We need a disruptor though. Maybe that's what Lifetime should launch their own, and then like they wouldn't get any Velo coverage anymore.
Man, get Betsy Welsh on? Dude, I think we just figured it out. I think we just solved gravel.
And you know what
Just
the
make it one media empire.
however, what actually they're doing is the fantasy gravel app is going to be an everything app. You can sign up for races in your area. You can order crap. You can see all the social media from your favorite privateer.
Dude, I tried linking my bank account to the fantasy gravel app and it wouldn't let me. There was no option. What a shame.
It sent me a notification that I could pick my Unbound team or whatever, and I clicked on it, and it was for the Unbound XL, and I think it literally has everyone that signed up for the race, like because they have the actual data. Like I just kept scrolling. You should probably do it right
Man.
now on your phone. It's pretty crazy. It's like Lachlan Morton, and then it's like Jeremy Jimenez, and you're just like, am I supposed to know who this is?
Man. Dude, these lists are long. I'm like pleasantly surprised by how many elite women there are in this field. Good stuff, dude.
Anyways, I guess we can hear about where you're at. I think did a lot of good writing and worked on deloading a little bit.
Yeah, last week is the week I was really last week and a bit the week before are the weeks I was really hitting it hard. Normie hard, Like let's keep it in perspective here. And this week this week I took it pretty chill. I still rode quite a bit, but I don't know. It was just noodling around mostly. I just kept ending up at the coffee shop. Yeah, took the time out to have these days just to be like Unbound prep. Um, just making a lot of memes. You know, we we worked on a video that'll probably go up. This podcast will probably be up before that video goes up, but or around the same time, I guess. Um, a little reel that'll go up on the Instagram. So check that out. Yeah, I got some hats made that I'm gonna give away, like maybe preview of some merch we might do down the line. I don't know. Um, just like texting people, seeing what's going on, who's in Emporia. Like I text a friend that's I can't remember if they were out there or gonna be out there, but it's like you text someone, it's like, "Hey, you Emporia?" And then it's just you in Emporia, and it's like that's the text that like, "Oh my God, I'm in too deep to be texting people that on like a Monday."
Dude, how long do you think Ted King's Gravel Hall of Fame induction speech is going to be?
They should live stream that. Speaking of live streams, do you remember at the last Academy? I didn't watch. I haven't watched Academy Awards in like years, but I just remember there was a meme about like Adrian Brody won for that movie, The Brutalist, and like went on for like 20 minutes. Might be like that.
Yeah, and maybe he'll like somehow politicize it like now more than ever. We need gravel. We need this due to uncertain times. Like, I don't even know why the idea of political undertones, like in a gravel Hall of Fame induction speech, sounds hilarious.
I mean, it's also funny to be doing something so silly as like everything is quote unquote falling apart. But at least I have their 10 a.m. on Thursday, Envy Shakeout Ride with Alexi Vermeulen and Sir Willie. Okay, so the backpack dog. And then Friday, 9 a.m., Chamois Butter Shakeout Ride, hosted by Sarah Sturm, Alexi Vermeulen, and Danny Shrewsbury. So no dog for that one. Um, but two really cool female hitters. Alexi Vermeulen, all the shakeout rides. Do they have Alexi Vermeulen's bike build here on the schedule of events? Dude, I was surprised by how seemingly big the expo is. Like, not like convention size big, sure, or like sea otter big, but it's bigger than I thought it was, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, expose how they make their money. Just having no idea, but saying that, like,
Let's see. Expo. I mean, it seems big unless like all of these tents are like the size of a shoebox or something, then I guess it's not that big, or like a couple parking spaces wide. Training Peak, Silka, Wera Tools. Oh, I love a good Allen key set of Wera Tools. Argon 18, Abus. I need a new helmet. BMC. Bike flights. Should I go and neg Kerry Werner by send airdropping him Spotify playlists?
you should neg him by like asking him if he's Finsty's friend, as if he doesn't have his own thing, you know? Just like, do you know Finst?
Dude, just plain completely dumb knowing he makes Finsty's videos.
You're the guy from the Finsty videos, right?
You're
I
the
I loved your Silver City video so much.
dude. Silver City, the next gravel hotspot.
I mean, after that Finsty video, it seems like
I'm gonna
bit
I'm gonna I'm gonna report that video to Oblivion so it gets taken down by YouTube, just so people don't realize uh how cool Silver City is and how many gravel rides you can do from there. I was actually really curious about the the app Finsty was using in that video. It was like some different routing app or something. I need to go back and see what that is.
yeah, I don't need the Kerry Werner art direction. I just need like a screen share with like Finsty's face 10% in the corner and him just like walking through a route like he's Nathan Fielder or something.
Dude, good one. Um I thought about that the other day, like Nathan Fielder at like a gravel race this insane. That'd be good. Go look up Nathan Fielder, people, if you don't know who we're talking about. But you'll look him up and be like, oh yeah, I've seen something with that guy. He's like kind of weird. Yeah, we just want to see Finsty just do like a route making POV video or something. Like that's
It
what
is,
people like, or just like
yeah, it's like,
POV. People like short artistic videos like the Pause Junior Writer video that they put out today, I think. I saw it today. It just showed up on my YouTube anyway. Or like just Finsty for like 5 hours building route. Like people would watch that. I would put that on while I pack or something to go to Unbound, which I don't think I had anything on, to be honest.
he's like, oh, well, People are saying there's gnarly single track here. Let's load up Google Earth to verify before we get a little bit too into the weeds somewhere we don't know.
And then he loses the tab and then like has to go back and then open Google Maps. Maybe I'm projecting too much on on route making, but
I mean, that's why we need to know, you know? I don't know. I want to travel and know how to do that and not just, I mean, I didn't even use Strava like for that purpose or do people, or is that just for like Greenway riders or something? I don't know.
route make on Strava,
Ride with GPS? Do people actually
ride with
ride
GPS. Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
GPS?
I just use them to aggregate routes. I've only a couple times have I ever made my own, but they were just based off routes I already saw and I just manipulated them. It isn't I don't think it's as intuitive as you think it is. Like I have to do it on my desktop because like my finger isn't good at like moving the line to the right road or something. I don't know.
I love just spiraling on because we just watched over Finstey's shoulder for like a couple minutes and it's just like I need to know the art of how he did this.
Man. Um,
I mean, he is on the map team, so he has to be a bit of a cartographer.
Good one. Dude, the map shakeout ride is on Thursday. I'm gonna try to go to that one. I'm gonna try to go to that one.
I'm interested
The
when
map.
you're on the ground in Emporia, like if people are going to really be recognizing privateers and what the behavior around them is. I know you've been to some privateer
Mm-hmm.
coded races, but is it going to be
Yeah.
selfie, 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 like taking pictures, like just shit eating grin, like, wow, I can't believe that's Danny Shrewsbury.
Yeah. And you said her last name wrong too. That's like her thing. She's like, everyone says my last name wrong. Shrewsbury. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question because I mean, the races I've been to, so the Texas races that sometimes get some privateers at them, like usually I feel like I'm the only person like autistic enough to know who they are unless it's Dylan Johnson. Um, although of course at Valley of Tears there was like Keegan was the other one that people were going up to. And but yeah, this one is like I mean this one is like it's so, you know, in this scene so mainstream now, like Unbound. So like people who go I don't know, I feel like I'm expecting people to be like going up to a Rosa closer or something, like in my mind, but I don't know. I mean, I go up to these people, but like I also have an in, I guess, so it's like easier for me or something. But like I have been like told before through in like DMs and stuff. It's like I saw Finsty at a race, but like I wasn't sure if I should go up to him. And it's like just go up to him, ask him how he makes his route. He'll love it.
What kind of bike does Rosa Closer ride?
A canyon.
There's no way in hell Rosa Closer should go to a shakeout ride with the general population unless she has a huge bodyguard who's like a rapper bodyguard and he's also riding a Canyon Grizzle.
Dude, good one. He's on the e-bike version, so he can always be like a step ahead.
Man, that would honestly be great.
Dude, the world we get to when like gravel still has to be like normie focused enough that like these people still like they don't have like the VIP packet pickup, like they still have to go to the regular people packet pickup. They still have to do shakeout rides on like public roads. All this stuff is still happening, but the only thing that changed is now like private security.
Yeah, and they either have like, you know, the huge like bouncer type bodyguard or the like UK special ops like tatted up tribal tat bodyguard, and those are the only two types they're allowed.
Wearing
Based
like really tight pants, like those Oakleys, those like flat Oakleys, and like a really tight polo,
and then like
and
other
like a
people.
belt that like has stuff on it.
I mean, I think,
The earpiece, like the earpiece that like goes down to like
and then like all of the normie privateers are just like they're using radios, and they're like, it's for my security.
Like how like Messi has his own personal security guard for like all the children and like mentally ill adults that run on the field when he's playing on Inter Miami.
Alexi and Avery and the bodyguard Antoine as well now. Season 4, Alexi and Avery.
Good one. Um, yeah, I bet the bodyguard's like really funny too. Like really great character. It'd be like this is like a throwback for millennials, like a Robin Big
I mean, I think I
type
think
show.
I think that might actually liven up the Keegan situation a bit. I'd be into that.
Man, making the bodyguards listen to Sum 41.
I
Dude,
mean,
there's a stage. Is there gonna be live music? Is this like Mid-South coded?
Bobby Wintle's headlining. Nobody knows the name of his band, but he is headlining.
The Bobby Wintle only started Mid-South, so his band would have a place to play joke.
Bobby Wintle's the type of guy whose band is called the Bobby Wintle Project.
And the guys are like, we're we're just that. Yeah, we let him call it that because like he pays for all the studio time and the rehearsal space, so we have to let him call the band that.
Oh man. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see BWP at Unbound, man. The Bobby Wintle Project. Dude, the Bobby Wintle Project played like a 4-hour set um until like the D came in, the dead fucking last rider.
Man, EF Adventures is gonna have a booth at the expo, which
I
is I guess the parent company of EF Education. So I actually worked for them 1 year. I was like a chaperone on some student tours. Anyway, that's a past life. Flint Hills Technical College. Maybe I can take some continuing education classes there.
dude, that'd be
Good
cool.
Life Brands can get a steak. Uh, yeah.
Dude, Good Life brands just get like everybody knows like a gluten-free person in their life that just eats all this like garbage snacks, but they're like, these are gluten-free. Like I can't eat pretzels. These are different pretzels. I had to get them from the Good Life.
Yeah, it goes back to the whole joke of that like everyone calls all the stuff that you eat on a bike nutrition, even though it's like sugar, carb, slime. There's nothing like actually nutritious about it, but that's the name for it now, nutrition. Oh, dude, Lauf is having a booth there. Which let's the bike brands. Lauf can is Canyon gonna be there? Which bike brand can I get? Can I con into giving me a bike first? Pinarello? I'm not even gonna try with them. Ventum? I don't know. Trek? That might be a little too serious. Is what was the brand that did that thing when they like rode those like beach cruisers? Rodeo Labs.
Oh yeah. Dude, I heard Santa Cruz has a booth and Tom DeLonge of Blink 182 is going to be there.
Dude, could you imagine? He's just like so not into it. He's just like, yeah, man. Just like signing CDs from just like really dorky millennials. It's like, dude, I listened to like I was last year when I was like trying to finish, like before the cutoff of the 200, and I just put on, you know, uh, take off your pants and jacket, and like it really got me through. I put on actually Angels and Airwaves, your your post Blink-182 project. That it hits, man. It hits when you're bonking. It really hits.
Yeah, I think the expo, yeah, it's going to be lit. I I think the one thing in what you've talked about to me off the pod is that there's like a rising class of mechanics, like celeb mechanics. I know there's that big tall guy. Who's that?
Yeah, yeah.
He's been around for a while.
Big tall Wayne. He's like I guess like I don't know that I feel like Pete Detna's it's like it's almost like an Alexi and Avery thing, but instead of like the content guy, the media guy. He's like the mechanic guy. Um, yeah, and he's seemingly like really not like celeb mechanics, I think, is like
I think that
definitely like an up and coming.
we're gonna see the birth of a few. Like I think with all the content coming out, and also they just know so much about the teams and the writers, and like they actually have something interesting to say, which
Dude,
is
they
like
have the most interesting. I was talking to a mechanic for one of the uh female hitters, like one of like the marquee ones, and they were telling me all this stuff. Nothing like no like protected information, obviously, but they were just I was they were like gracious enough. I was just curious, and like we were chatting on Instagram, and I was asking like they were telling me like, oh, I'm just writing up my race notes, and I was like, what's in your race notes? And they were telling me all this stuff about other riders and like what equipment they use and how they've been traveling and their results and just keeping your it was such an interesting system I thought of just knowing what's going on as I was like, wow, that's a mechanic's job too. Like it was is really really cool. And yeah, we might have to start seeing some like celeb mechanics. It's like before we get to the celebrity privateer security guards, like the celeb mechanics and what goes on with them, and like having to change out tires and like redo bar tape at like
and they have to be
2 a.m. on
they have to be
Friday
at the
night.
act they have to be at the activation booth too, on top of everything.
Right, they have to be like messing around with someone's bike in the public view of others. And then you have some gravel dad walk up to him and they're just like, "Would you recommend do you like hydraulic like is it hard to bleed brakes? Hydraulic brakes? Like that doesn't look too hard, does it?" Just like how many times do they get asked that?
Well, I've got everything I need to do it, but how much time do you think that would take somebody who's never done it before? Is what I'm asking you.
Yeah. Classic.
I mean, it's just bleeding
Classic.
brakes. It's just bleeding brakes. Like, just the worst conversation ever with a professional, like, who owes you nothing.
Right. It's like I bought the park tools set, but I notice you're not using the park tools set. You're using and it's just like
Like, you can't pay someone enough to, like, endure that, or, like, just talking about their own setup. And, you know, I mean, humans are so lonely. It's very sad.
that's why we have gravel. So you can go out there and ride. I heard that the where did I hear? I can't remember now where I heard this, but that the 100 has the most people. I had always assumed it was the 200 because that is the headlining event, but the 100 has like far and away the most people, which I guess does make sense. Because riding 200 miles is just like crazy. But and you apparently you can still sign up for the 25 or the 50. So if you want to tag along, if you want to be the stereotypical gravel dad that abandons his family to go like what 2 states away for a long weekend and ride 50 miles of gravel, we can fit you in the bed of the truck.
Now, that's my spirit of gravel. Before we
Yes, the
continue to stay off track, should we talk about some predictions or vibes, or like, is there anything can do? Does anyone even know what's happening in gravel to make an informed decision? I guess is the question.
I I think that before you can even have like there's the hitters, there's like the marquee hitters. Um the Grodio podcast goes into all of them, and I don't even think that there's anything I know more to say anything contradictory to what they said on the podcast. But yeah, just all the main hitters are pretty much there. The I think that the main narrative is the mud, like the weather situation. It's been raining like quite a bit in the Flint Hills, and it's supposed to stop after tomorrow. So you have like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for it to dry out, but people are like you can tell there's a little bit of nerves in the air with like Mudfest, tires. Tire clearing? Mudfest? You know, like all the gravel dads out there who've jammed mountain bike tires onto their bike that's only rated for 45C. Like, I don't know. You might be in for a surprise. I don't know.
Yeah, I think my knowing nothing about any writers other than Keegan is good, and I don't know, like there's really no information to take from like previous races to like, in
I
my
mean,
opinion, to
it's
make
like
an to make, to give analysis on this. Like there's probably going to
it's
be a
like
16 up sprint in the women and
I mean,
and
I
like
think that's what makes like to me the women's more interesting, I think, because I think there's more of them at the top level that are relatively talented compared to each other.
and
Whereas
by
at the men's, it's like one and two, and then you know, it's a little more. I don't know. Like the field seems the field like both fields are stacked, but I feel like the women's just has a little more. Maybe parity is the right word. You can't just say, "Oh, so and so's gonna win again." I mean, I guess people could say like, "Oh, Sophia's gonna win," but she wasn't even in the sprint last year. Like I can't remember if something happened, like what the deal was with that. But like, I don't know. It just feels the women's feels a lot more unpredictable in a good way.
saying that all of the women all the best women are at a top level, do you mean that they're all on the level right behind Lauren Stevens?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. This is I don't know if Lauren Stevens has done the 200 before. She's usually
It,
just a 100
is she
head.
doing it after road nats? That's crazy.
I thought so. I thought people were saying that.
Um,
Did Grodio lead me astray on
I
that?
mean, I don't know. I just it's crazy that
Yeah, yeah. No, I
a,
oh
a
yeah,
week
she's under yeah,
a week
she's here.
apart. It's just like a real uh, a real Alexi Vermeulen type season here. Just doing it all. Um, so
And this wasn't even to try to get into the Olympics.
my
But
my larger narrative or theme is, with all the gravel earth coverage, I think Paz Racing had a huge traka, obviously. So Paz is, you know, they're the front runners globally, in my opinion. And I think they've invested resources to be gravel, not just make a name, but like to be synonymous. So there's all these European people coming over and like they've clearly spent money to like have teams and be good. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, America's different than Europe and it's a long race, but my prediction is that we're going to see like the true team tactics, like incident of Unbound 2025, like the before and after, the attack in the feed zone moment. I feel particularly in the men's, like there there's going to be so many quote unquote pause guys that some moves are going to go up the road and we'll see what happens, because that is how they won Traka, I feel like, as well, like some pretty classic team tactics. But so then the American / lifetime Grand Prixers will have to decide, do I want to win this race? Do I have some sort of connection to another lifetime Grand Prix where we should work together? The Matt Beers theory. I don't know. You want to hop in on here? There's a lot going on here, but this is where my beautiful mind has gone.
well, I don't know. I mean, what's interesting is like I feel that I've seen in races is when there's been team tactics is like people just drop out. Like you hear just like this might have happened at Gravel Locos. I feel like it happened somewhere where some pause guy like went up the road and then at some point, it broke up the group, blah blah blah. Other pause guys came up. Um there was separation and then like the dude that went up the road just quit and was like it was hot. I don't know. I But then it's also like there's team tactics, but then there's also like no radios. So if someone goes up the road, it's like then you don't see him anymore. But then I guess the roads are really long and then you can see people for a long time. I have no idea. I think this year is going to be the year. I do feel like you are seeing more people that I don't know if, I don't even know if you call them teams, but like the teams of privateers. Like people are riding together, which I feel like I'm noticing more on social media than has been a thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but like the Trek Driftless people are riding together. Like the Castelli people are riding together. Obviously the Pause people are riding together. I don't know if that makes them teammates necessarily. Um there was that one team, the classified team that felt like they were like actually a team. I feel like that was the most team coded group of riders that I've ever seen. They had a video of last year's Unbound that they uploaded not that long ago. Like it took a while to get out there, but that was a good video. I think this year is like gonna be a watershed year for that because if Pause goes all in on it, then like you just have to. I mean, it's just like you. I feel more with the men's too, but you will just see like something to beat. Who I guess the top favorites are like Keegan and Matt Beers, Alexei Vermeulen. So is there just some like sacrificial lamb of like a 22-year-old Dutch guy or Danish guy or Swiss guy that they just send up the road whose name is like you'll never hear of again or something and they just send him up the road. I don't know, it could be. I mean, you're gonna be finding this out before I am. You'll be watching the stream. I'll be out there just riding with a bunch of normies. Maybe I can get in a good group of hitter coded people, but I mean, I don't know. There'll be so many out there. It's just like just be in a line of like gravel dads and like triathlon moms, just chilling, just sucking
So,
wheels.
do you think you're gonna finish?
Dude, if I don't finish, my parents would absolutely kill me, dude. If I don't, I've said this before, but like, unless I've like lost a limb or something, like, unless like my wheel has like exploded a la Lachlan Morton, like, I have to finish. I don't know. Not too worried about that. I'm more worried about how many activations I can go to.
That's the right mindset, you know, as the premier vibes based coaching uh, trainer in the world. You know, I think it is. You know, you ride better when you're activated.
So the funny thing about the Velo News website is that the chart they use to make uh this list of all the elite riders, men and women's, it wasn't formatted correctly. So like the accents on the names like do that thing when they just have like a bunch of random letters. So it's like a lot of the European names just look insane because like the non-English language like letters are showing up, characters, if that makes sense. Anyway, just one of these little quirky things that you notice when you're, you know, when you spent the last couple days preparing for to leave for the biggest gravel race in the world. Actually, they said on Grodio that technically Barry Roubaix is bigger because they have 5,000 people, and this one has 4,500 or something like that. So technically, Barry Roubaix is the biggest gravel race in the world.
Well, there's a lot of Barry Roubaix psyopers out there, and we're not part of them. Dirty Kansas will always be the biggest gravel race in the world to us.
Dude, the Dirty Kansas South Course, baby. South Course. We're doing the North Course this year. I think the North Course is the one that's considered the true course, like the true. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a thing. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Dude, see after Unbound, we're going to be able to go through the scoring and be able to really analyze this as like a kind of less like First Take on ESPN and more like Sports Center or something. We'll be able to really dig into these numbers because right now we just have Sea Otter.
Look, in my mind, there's going to be a moment in the race where it's just like 7 pause guys, Keegan and Chase Work at like mile 180. And Keegan and Chase are going to have to look at each other and ask which one of us is going to be the bitch here, you know, because they're going to have to work together.
I don't know. Maybe Chase Ward can take him out like how he did at Valley of Tears. I support that move.
Team tactics. Man, I had a random thought just to eat up some time, like regarding the Giro and Primo's Roglic falling apart. It's just like, who cares? Just
Yeah,
why like normie like roadie cycling? I mean, it's very F1, but it's like, what's wrong with Primo's? And it's like, well, he was on a team that like let Sepp Kuss win, like when they should have just let Jonas Vingegaard win or whatever. Like he just wasted his best years or something. Like what's there to read into here? It's just road cycling. Like I don't know.
yeah. Roglic just goes to all these races and like, well, also he goes to like the non-tour races. He goes to the races that Jonas and Pogacar don't go to, and like expects an easy win, and then just gets like blown out the back by some Mexican kid. Pretty cool.
I feel like I just don't interpret him as like even expecting to win or something, which I like respect too. He's just like, yeah, Red Bull paid me a bunch of money to wear this Red Bull helmet. So I just joined the club of people that are already getting paid tons of money to wear a Red Bull helmet.
Dude, if we had a Patreon for this podcast, the way we'd fill air would just be there's so many names on these elite lists, men and women, that I have no idea who these people are. Obviously good people, but fast people, but I don't know who they are. So I'm gonna go on Instagram. They of course they have Instagram account. It's a prerequisite for being in the elite field. So I go on Instagram, look up their names, and then we do like a vibes based rating for these names I've never heard of before. But maybe for the next one, because I gotta go to bed. I leave tomorrow early.
Dude, it'd be cool if like you were on the Velo article and like you printed it for your family to like, see, this is why I ride my bike like 27 hours a week.
Yeah, I should get Alvin to do that. He'd be down. I know it's not his fault that the formatting is wrong on this graphic.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just interested to see, the Unbound content farm, is beginning the live stream. I wonder if Unbound will have more videos afterwards than the Traka universe did. Like,
They are. They're gonna have like I think they pivoted back to having the documentary series come out after everything is over, which is the smart move. Um, yeah, so they're gonna have their videos. Um, yeah, I don't know, dude. So many pause writers in one small town in America, in the middle of America. This might be the vibe shift that we've all been waiting for in this
dude,
post-COVID era.
I, our friend conned me into putting 32s on my gravel bike with
Mm-hmm.
tubes, and then I flatted, and I had to walk through like kind of like a mountain bike coated park for like this happened to be along where I was, but the bike shop was on the other side of it, and I had to walk 2 miles in a panormal solitude, like in the woods with a flat tire. And I was just like, damn, I guess they were right.
Yeah, dude. Tubeless, wide tires,
Dude,
and
speaking of which, while I was in the park, I saw a family at like a picnic bench, and they had brought like 58-inch monitors to like watch a movie like at the park, like immersed in nature. And it was like a
they were
grandma, a
watching.
mom,
Maybe they
and
were
two
watching
kids.
road. Maybe they were watching Road Nats.
I mean, they're definitely going to be watching Unbound.
If I wasn't going to Unbound, I would say we should actually take the monitors, go out there, get a generator, and watch the Unbound live stream on our Greenbelt Trail.
We should Remember when like the rich kid in your class, they'd have their their birthday party at a movie theater, and they'd rent it out, and you were just like, wow, how did their parents do this? But they like basically just had to buy every seat. Um, we should do that, except we stream Unbound and we try to like publicize it locally that you can come watch Unbound in a movie theater, and then it would just be us.
Man. Yeah. Maybe there's some way we can get a brand to give us like maybe we can get Paz to give us like the tiniest water bottles for free, like the ones that you give to your children, so like they can feel cool for having a like an 8 ounce water bottle.
Didn't you say Payson's having like a movie debut at like in Emporia or something? Maybe that movie
Oh
theater is
yeah.
available.
Yeah, it's like the what is it called? The Granada Theater. I feel like I've read it so many times that I remember the name now. Um, I think we should actually change the capital of the United States from Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, to Emporia, Kansas, because it is more centrally located and it is home to the greatest sporting event in the history of the United States of America.
Yeah, speaking of colonial coded, I do appreciate the era of state capitals where they were always in the center of the states to keep the city safe.
Man, in 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, Emporia Public Library Story Time with Gravel Cycling Hall of Fame. I think I'm gonna take the Insta360 that you lent me and go out there and get some real good action shots from that activation.
Gravel dads have gravel kids, we've got to do something. Do you think that there's going to be a photograph in black and white of Payson like in front of a movie theater audience in front of his screen with like his hand over his heart? Like, is that a guarantee?
Yeah, it's basically gonna be the gravel version of like Tom Cruise going to the viewings of his new Mission Impossible movie and like waving out at the crowd. And you just see a bunch of cell phones up, just like taking videos that no one's ever gonna see. And he's just like, we made this for you guys. We made this for you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And then he walks out.
Jason McElvin's new YouTube video receives 11-minute standing ovation from Emporia, Kansas crowd.
Emporia, Kansas Film Festival. Is it the new cons?